What's going on, guys? Sam here from LV1 Gaming.com, and I have Mike here with me because there's a game here at PAX East 2024 that caught my attention. I couldn't wait to talk more about Rightfully, Beary Arms. This game looks absolutely sick. But Mike, first I want to talk about you. Tell us a little bit about yourself and about Rightfully, Beary Arms.
Yeah, so my name is Mike. I'm one of the developers, founder, kind of a lot of the creative stuff as well. So
do a lot of work.
Yeah.
A lot of hats.
So I guess I'm like one half of the original founding team.
Okay.
So yeah, we came up with a lot of the concepts and ideas and prototyping and all that.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Now, Rightfully, Beary Arms is. I mean, we got a mix of dungeon crawling, bullet hell. Tell us what is Rightfully, Beary Arms at its core? What type of game that people can look forward to playing here at PAX?
Yeah, so it's a top-down. It's like a 2.5D shoot 'em up roguelike. So you're going basically room to room, shooting enemies, clearing the rooms, and then moving on. There is, I guess, more of an emphasis on like progression systems. So we have a permanent progression system as well as a run-based progression system.
Yes.
But one of the things we kind of wanted to try to do was make it so that you're not just necessarily getting like stat buffs, but the systems that are within the game are being manipulated in ways that advantage you or maybe disadvantage you, as opposed to just you get more health or you get more ammo or whatever it might be. Those are in there as well, but just kind of playing with some of the different mechanics of the systems as well. One of the other things that we do too is as the game progresses, you eventually are forced to choose ways in which the game gets more difficult. So
I want to talk about that. That's a very interesting concept. As you're going through, you're choosing how you want the game to be or how you want the enemy types to change. Can you talk more, like, if you can, more into depth on how that process works? That's a very cool feature I don't see in many other games.
Yeah, so basically there's these, we call them galaxies, and a lot of that kind of comes from the origination of some of the ideas. But basically there's these biomes or themes of dungeons. So as you progress through the game, so you start out in space, and then there's the docks and an arcade, and then it kind of goes beyond that. And so at the end of each one, there's a boss that you fight. When you fight the boss, and then you go in the exit the dungeon, a screen will come up, and basically it gives you three options, and it says like, hey, how do you want the game? The game's gonna get harder now. How do you want it to get harder? And it could be more things like more enemies spawning. It could be that they move faster, maybe they react faster, respawn faster, shoot faster. It could be that there are, you lose in the game. There's dashing, and dashing has iframes.
Yes.
But maybe, you want to choose to remove that ability. Or maybe you want things to be more expensive in stores, or maybe you want storage. Maybe you use stores a lot, so you choose to make stores spawn less than they would otherwise. So it's not just about making the enemies harder. It's kind of like there's all these systems, and kind of how do you want to alter them to make the game more challenging?
That's awesome. Now, is it have some roguelike elements where dying is necessarily a bad thing, or is it once you've made it too difficult for yourself and you run out of options, we're starting over?
Yeah, so we have the permanent upgrade system. So they're called throughs. You acquire them with inspiration. So as you run through, you can at the end of each dungeon, basically you're presented with a choice of the next dungeon that you go to, and you decide. You are told what the rewards might likely be.
Oh, okay, I like that.
So it will say, if you're kind of doing a run to build up the permanent progression, so maybe you're really seeking out that inspiration, and so you could just pick the ones that are maybe providing you that inspiration. So knowing that you're not maybe going to make it to the end. I know that I'm going to die this time, so I want to acquire as much inspiration as I possibly can. So you do that, and then you die. You lose any of the weapons that you had, any of the temporary progression, as well as those calamities. Those go away every time you die. But now you start out in the start room, you go through, and then you can upgrade the character. In this case, you can make them stronger, give them more health, increase the weapon's accuracy, fire rate, things like that. And there is also different things, like maybe you want to increase spawn rates of different things, just kind of all sorts of different things. And so that's the permanent part. So that always stays there even after you die.
Okay, so are there any visual cues? So let's say maybe your character gets to change color. I know in the demo things I've seen there, the character blue in the way to go have a yellow beard or red. Any of that change throughout the game?
So you mean like in terms of like outfits and things like that?
Yes.
Yeah. So we're doing an update. It's playable here at PAX this year. It's
Gotta
coming
be
out.
a PAX.
Yeah, it's coming out in April.
Okay.
And basically, one of the things that we're introducing is cosmetics.
Okay.
So every time you beat a boss, basically you're presented with a cosmetic that is reflective of them.
Like a Mega Man effect almost.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like you know, the first boss is a bat tree, and it's just like it's a bat that's made out of wood.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
and you get like a costume that kind of looks like him, or in the game we call it you know, they're jammies, because this is all in the imagination of a child.
Yes.
So as a child will wear jammies, you can choose
Okay.
to wear, you know, bat tree jammies or
That's cool.
Yep.
That's cool. So you kind of mentioned it for a second. So when can we expect to have this game in the gamer's hands?
So the plan currently is to have a full like 1.0 release at the end of the year on PC, which would be on Steam and Xbox as well.
And are people able to support you by wishlisting the game right now?
Yeah, wishlisting helps us a lot.
Yes.
It is available for purchase in early access. And know that, you know, of course, with any other early access title, what you get now versus what the game could be, you know, 6 months from now is different. So, but I think, you know, it's in a pretty good state. I'm pretty happy with the state that it's in terms of systems and bugs and stability. Like it's pretty good in my opinion. But yeah, definitely buying the game in early access helps us as well as wishlisting and following us on Twitter or X as it's now called.
Yes, I was going to go ahead and plug all of that.
Instagram, Discord. You know, join our Discord. We interact with people a lot. We take a lot of feedback. If you play it and there are things that you don't like,
let you guys know.
You can let us know.
Okay.
We don't know if you don't let us know.
Okay.
So, yep.
Now, Mike, everyone's not like me and sees this game and instantly gets hooked on it, right?
Yep.
So my last question to you, so as someone Red Pack, people are walking by, what would be your pitch to say, hey, you should be checking out Rightfully Beary Arms?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're a fan of the genre, so Enter the Gungeon, Nuclear Throne, Hades, you know, some of the newer stuff like, you know, like RoboQuest or I'm trying to think of the other names, but Dead Cells, I guess, is one.
Yes, that's one.
If you're a fan of those, I would encourage you to check it out. It draws a lot of inspiration from all of those things. It's not just, you know, copying. There's like a lot of unique takes on a lot of those different systems, and I think that's from a lot of the feedback that we get. That's you know, that's what we hear. So
okay, awesome. Well, Mike, I appreciate you coming through and talking with me. My name is David from LV1 Gaming.com. Rightfully Beary Arms. I'm about to get my hands in the game. It looks freaking amazing. You guys have a great one. Peace.